Okay, so it seems like there's a little bit of an update on the whole MowtenDoo situation, which essentially, if you don't know, MowtenDoo came out with a little bit of a document about VShojo. He used to be obviously the CMO and also other things, I think the CTO as well, and obviously talked about the fact that, you know, he wasn't officially that, and obviously we went through this entire kind of Google Doc in my previous video, if you guys want to go watch that, and we, you know, talk about a lot of the things that he brings up in this entire thing, including a lot of you know, documents and things to prove that he was not a kind of official kind of officer in the kind of company. But it seems like a lot of people have been refuting this lately, with many people bringing up their own opinions and their own screenshots and things of what has happened, including obviously a VTuber called Batty. Now, if you don't know, Batty has been pretty big in the YouTuber VA space, obviously, and they actually replied to this saying, as someone who works with these government docs on a daily basis, I feel like it's a little bit deceptive that you try to claim you aren't an officer at the company because you aren't listed on the statement of information or other docs provided. The SOI is only required to list the CEO, CFO, and secretary. And typically only the CEO and the secondary officer will sign a stock adoption agreement, while all officers would potentially only need to be listed on an officer's certificate. So obviously, yeah, she's pointing out the fact that a lot of the kind of evidence that, you know, they posted, including this, for example, showing the CEO and the CFO on these lists, obviously don't mean that much because, you know, you don't have to have every single officer on there. And, you know, he was obviously presenting this as, you know, a pretty open and shut case, I guess, of like, hey, you know, I'm not on here, so I'm not involved, right? And obviously many people have believed that because, you know, people don't know about government documents. They don't know about this kind of stuff. And, you know, it's very, very interesting. And obviously, I'm very interested to see what a lot of the lawyer space has to say, including like legal mindset on this kind of stuff. Because obviously we've got Batty here, who obviously works with these government docs, and, you know, a lot of the time, and they're saying, I'm not an expert on these things, and I'm not trying to make any claims about the validity of MowtenDoo's statement, just pointing out that the proof provided is a little misleading. They said, I also want to be clear, this is not meant to be an attack or say that MowtenDoo is lying. It's just meant to share my knowledge and provide more context. Please don't use this info to spread any hate. My job is just really boring, and this is the one time I can actually use you know, share my useful info, which is obviously, yeah, I think it's very, very valid, and I think it's a very important you know, thing to add into the discussion, because obviously, yes, a lot of people do not know about government documents. They do not know about these kind of documents that you know, specify whether someone's a CEO or CFO or whatever, and how much validity that actually has whenever it comes to proving that you weren't involved as an officer at the company. And obviously, it seems like it's becoming a little bit less solid. And you know, there's also been some other quotes as well. People saying, you deleted your last post and locked your recent post. Does not look good for you. You got community loaded on your post, which, yeah, it's 100% true. You know, there was a whole situation, obviously, with MowtenDoo a while ago on his account, whenever the whole VShojo stuff actually came out. He was saying, like, oh my god, you know, why did you do that? Like, acting gun run, I'm pretty sure. And essentially acting shocked at a lot of the stuff that was going on. But now, strangely, he's deleted that post. Now, obviously, in the Google Doc itself, he actually mentions the fact that he had no clue of the financial stuff that was going on in the background. But isn't it kind of weird if you're kind of saying that you're innocent, but at the same time also deleting the posts, which also back up the point that you're innocent, and you're deleting them? I mean, that's very, very weird to me. And obviously, a lot of people have been very skeptical about that. And obviously, people have not been happy at all. You know, people saying you locked the replies as well, which also was another true thing, which a lot of people did not like. They locked the replies so people cannot reply to it directly. But obviously, there's been a lot of people going crazy over in the quote retweets and stuff. You know, Google Doc, he said, TLDR washed his hands clean on the financial side, but never addressed him being a creep, which obviously, yeah, that was another kind of factor, was the fact that obviously lots of people were still mad and you know, angry at the fact that, you know, obviously we hadn't seen anything about him being a creep or whatever, like the allegations about him being a creep. He didn't address that at all, really. You know, obviously he said like, oh, I'll deal with it in private, but no, everybody wants to know exactly, you know, whether, you know, you were acting like this or whether, you know, these statements are false. But again, they never said anything. You got Mugen here saying, cool story, bro. Funny that you decided to lock replies. Now, how about you tell us how you consistently talked bad about your talent behind their backs, pitted them against one another, and have had many people in the industry hint that you're a sex pest, which obviously, yeah, is true, and that comes from Obviously these two posts are included in the community notes, which thank God for community notes, man. Obviously it shows you all of these links and things, including this one post from VeiBae, where essentially, yeah, she talks about how the fact that, obviously he was a bit creepy towards her. Obviously, MTD got reprimanded for being creepy to us, got told not to message us privately, go figure. And obviously said, I have proof from other streamers attending IRL parties that MTD would actively talk bad about me after I left the company, trying to paint me in the worst light imaginable. Don't know why you're acting innocent on Twitter, pretending like you weren't aware of anything. Can't wait to see all of the stuff that comes out, because there's loads, but those aren't my stories to tell. So yeah, obviously, apparently there's even more stuff behind the scenes which we don't know about yet. Lovesy and Nyanners had also kind of said something as well onto VeiBae's post, saying MTD had the audacity to talk bad about you to my face at the party the year that we all left. And obviously this is a first-hand account. This isn't just VeiBae saying like I heard that this stuff was going on. This is now Nyanners saying that he said it to my face. This is what's going on, and said, and they painted you as some kind of conniving, greedy, mean girl who was in my ear and manipulated me into leaving VShojo just because you wanted me to join OTK because her boyfriend Soda is a part of that org for some personal gain or something. He got uncomfortably close and up in my face and was like, come on, I know the real reason you left. I know it's because of VeiBae. She talked you into it, etc. And it was really infuriating. I know he spread that same stuff to other staff, talent, and other industry people. Seeing one of my closest friends get dragged through the mud like this for years is awful. You did absolutely nothing wrong and had so much stuff flung at you just because you wanted to push a narrative, just because they wanted to push a narrative to spread the company. For him to act like he's completely blameless is insulting. He is creepy, and there's nothing obviously and there's a lot more obviously, but a lot of that is also not my story to tell. So obviously those were the two things that came out from VeiBae and from Nyanners, but obviously both of them said there are still more stories out there, but that's not their story to tell. So I'm very interested to see if anything will come out in the next coming days. Obviously with this kind of blowing up in itself, I hope that some more people do come out about the situation, because again, obviously it seems like there are more stories still to be told. It's just a matter of time until someone comes out with it. People saying brother pretending he didn't know anything, getting the community noted, oh wait, I wrote the community note. People saying it looks great, thanks for generating this image. Okay, well, I don't like it. That's not okay. I said archive, obviously they archived a lot of things. Said let's talk, lock replies, which yeah, it's quite funny. Obviously a lot of people have been clowning on MowtenDoo because they said let's talk about my time at VShojo, right? And then they lock the replies. It's like, okay, well, how are we supposed to talk? Are we supposed to talk in the quote replies? Like what's really going on here? But yeah, I mean, it just keeps getting worse for him, and obviously people have been talking about this over on r/virtual YouTubers as well, saying hope dude cleared that up with his lawyer because those docs straight up say confidential, lol. Also merger with what entity, and do they call them golden parachutes? I thought that was a pejorative. Sorry. And obviously they say, isn't this the guy who creeped on the talent's DMs? Said not in DMs according to just in DMs, according to Nyanners IRL as well. Said he apparently tried to pressure people into doing stuff at parties, which is crazy. Obviously lots of things coming out. It said, isn't he the guy that behaved like a complete arsehole towards talents? Said dude should have really stuck to making funny Terry Crews Mario Bros theme remixes. What a letdown. Which is quite funny. He said, prove it in court, that's all I have to say. Let it all come out in discovery. From what it looks like, that might be where it's heading, but it will take time. The US court system isn't exactly known for being speedy. So yeah, obviously, many people talking about it, many people were angry. He said, even if all of this is true, I still doubt that whatever project MTD is working on will be well received. There's too much VShojo baggage attached to his name. Maybe in a year or so, but it seems too soon. And yeah, obviously, MowtenDoo obviously talked about quite a bit about a new company or a new thing that they planned on, working on and still working on. It's going to be interesting to see how that's accepted now, obviously, with a lot of the kind of backlash that he's been facing. I mean, this has got 1.4 million views and only 700 likes. That kind of shows you exactly, the mindset that people are at with him right now. So I don't think releasing a company or releasing any kind of project at the moment is the best of ideas because, again, you're not in people's good books at the moment. So it's probably not good to try to profitize off anything right now, because again, they already hate you, so it's just not a good move. But yeah, I mean, that is essentially the whole update with MowtenDoo. I just kind of wanted to show you guys because, again, there's a lot of missing stuff that a lot of people weren't aware of. And obviously, with Betty kind of adding that bit of extra information about government documents and things, which could potentially change this slightly in terms of, you know, how legitimate a lot of the evidence he put forwards was. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. And as I said, I hope that obviously like Legal Mindset or someone makes a video on this talking about the specific documents that were involved in this Google Doc, like this one, for example, and talking about how, you know, that actually is proved as evidence of being an ex-CTO, whatever, or CMO, or if it proves that he wasn't and it proves nothing. You know, again, it'll be interesting. I don't know, but it is definitely something to think about. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameStop, use my code Kazza, get 10% off again. They got a ton of really cool stuff over there. I definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. So, see ya.